Late one night, a woman was walking home along a quiet street with an umbrella in her hand. The road was dark and almost empty, and the night was calm. Suddenly, two thieves on a motorcycle rode up and stopped near her. One of them remained on the bike while the other got down and approached her, trying to rob her. Realizing the situation, the woman quickly thought of a way to protect her belongings. She quietly slipped her phone inside the folded part of her umbrella and held it firmly so it would not be seen. She then pretended that she had nothing valuable with her. The thief searched her pockets and looked through her bag, hoping to find something worth taking. After searching and finding nothing important, the thief became frustrated. With nothing to steal, he returned to the motorcycle. The two thieves then rode away into the night. Disappointed. Once they were gone, the woman took her phone out from the umbrella, relieved that her quick thinking had helped her avoid losing it, and she continued walking home safely. On a quiet evening on the 12th of May 2023, a man was having dinner at a restaurant with his wife and daughter. The place was calm, with customers quietly enjoying their meals. Suddenly, a man wearing a face cap walked up to their table. He quietly pulled out a gun and pointed it at the father, ordering him and his wife to hand over their belongings. Not wanting to cause a scene or frighten their daughter, they slowly gave him their phones, wallets, and jewelry. After taking their valuables, the robber calmly walked to two other tables. He showed the gun to the customers and demanded their belongings, and they quickly handed them over. Within a few minutes, the man had robbed several people. He then tucked the gun away and casually walked out of the restaurant, leaving the shocked customers behind. On a quiet Sunday evening, a cashier was attending to a customer inside a small neighborhood store. The atmosphere was calm and slow. Suddenly, a masked man burst through the door holding a gun. Startled, the customer immediately panicked and ran out of the store to escape the danger. The robber turned his attention to the cashier, trying to intimidate him. But before he could make his demand, the store owner, who was nearby, quickly grabbed a machete. Holding it firmly, the owner stepped forward and threatened to strike the robber if he didn't leave immediately. Seeing the weapon and realizing the situation had turned against him, the thief became frightened. Without wasting another second, the robber turned around and ran out of the store, escaping as fast as he could while the owner stood ready with the machete. The attempted robbery had been stopped before it could even begin. One evening, a woman was walking home along a quiet street after a long day. The road was calm, and only a few people were around as the sun began to set. As she continued walking, a motorcycle suddenly pulled up in front of her and blocked her path. A man quickly got down from the bike and approached her with the intention of robbing her. The woman realized what was happening and tried to resist. She struggled with the thief and attempted to hold onto her belongings, refusing to give them up easily. However, the thief was stronger. After a brief struggle, he managed to get hold of her phone from where she toasted it. Without wasting any time, he jumped back onto the motorcycle and quickly sped away, leaving the woman standing on the street in shock. Shaken by what had just happened, she slowly gathered herself and looked around for help as the motorcycle disappeared into the distance. One evening, a robber suddenly walked into a grocery store while a few customers were inside. He moved straight to the counter, pulled out a gun, and pointed it directly at the cashier. In a threatening voice, he demanded all the money in the register. The store instantly became tense as the frightened cashier slowly began opening the register. Just as the robber thought he had full control of the situation, an old woman standing nearby suddenly rushed forward and grabbed the robber's arm that was holding the gun. Shocked, the robber tried to pull away, but an old man quickly stepped in and grabbed him from behind. A struggle broke out as the robber fought hard to break free while the elderly couple tried to keep control of the weapon. The gun moved wildly as they wrestled with him, each trying to gain control. Seeing the dangerous fight, a third customer quickly rushed in to help. Together, the three customers managed to overpower the robber after a tough struggle. They forced him to the ground, took the gun away, and held him down. The cashier quickly called the police, and moments later officers arrived and arrested the robber. Thanks to the courage and quick thinking of the customers, the robbery was stopped and everyone in the store remained safe. On the 3rd of February 2026, An off-duty police officer was sitting calmly in a barbing salon, getting a haircut and chatting lightly with the barber. It felt like a normal day, nothing out of the ordinary. Suddenly, shouting and panic broke out just outside the salon. People began screaming, and it became clear that a robbery was happening right on the street. The off-duty officer immediately recognized the danger, without hesitation, and moved to help. Seeing the threat to innocent people, he acted quickly to stop the robbery and protect the victims. The robber was forced to abandon the crime and flee as the situation was brought under control. The people outside were able to get to safety, shaken but unharmed. Within moments, the chaos was over. What started as a routine haircut turned into a moment where training, courage, and quick action made the difference, reminding everyone that heroes don't always wear uniforms in public. The robber forced his way into a building, creating instant panic. He grabbed the cashier and held him close, using him as a shield while demanding access further inside. Keeping the cashier in front of him, the robber moved deeper into the building and started down the stairs, trying to escape with control of the situation. Every step was tense, the cashier clearly terrified but trying to stay calm. Halfway down, everything changed. They suddenly came face to face with a group of jujutsu fighters who were in the middle of a training session. The fighters stopped and looked up, immediately understanding something was wrong. Seeing the number of trained fighters in front of him, the robber hesitated. Fear took over. He released the cashier and turned to run, but it was too late. The fighters reacted quickly, blocking his escape and stopping him before he could get far. Overwhelmed and unable to break free, the robber was restrained as others called for help. The cashier was pulled to safety, shaken but unharmed. What started as a terrifying hostage situation ended with awareness, discipline, and teamwork, proving that the wrong place at the wrong time can end a crime just as fast as it begins. A woman was walking along a busy street, holding her purse close as traffic moved around her. In a sudden moment, a man rushed past, grabbed her purse, and took off running before she could react. He sprinted across the road, weaving through traffic, crossing lane after lane without looking back. Cars honked and people shouted as he pushed forward, determined to escape. After crossing 6 lanes, he slowed down and tried to blend into the crowd, acting like just another pedestrian. But he wasn't smart enough. A police car nearby had already noticed the chaos. The officer spotted the suspect moving nervously through the crowd while clutching the stolen purse. The car stopped, and one officer jumped out and ran straight toward him. The thief tried to change direction, but it was too late. The officer caught up, stopped him, and placed him under arrest. The stolen purse was recovered, and the woman's belongings were returned.